Hey everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever and however you tune in from. James Dow, back here with another knife video. We're going to be checking out, we're a behemoth, a giant today. It's maybe not a giant to, all knives, but to the daily carry, maybe even like my Lander one I got over here at hand. Man, it's a giant. It dwarfs this little daily carry. And that knife that we're talking about is the ESEE-5 from Randall's Adventure. This one is a special knife in my place. We'll kind of go over the story real quick, then we'll go through the specs and all that. But yeah, this knife, I got it back when I graduated high school. My dad gifted it to me as a graduation present, and I've loved it ever since. I'll be honest with you, I kind of used it first a few times here and there. Not heavy, whatever, just using it. And it was used when I received it. It is an older model. I've researched it. I could be completely wrong, but I believe they stopped using the skull logo. They still have it on some models, but on the ESEE-5 model, they stopped using this around 2014, 2010. Sometime in that era. I'm not sure of it, so don't hold me to it. But that's when I believe this model, this knife was made. Was around probably 2010 to 2014, because it has the skull on the blade. Nowadays, you typically just see, I'll zoom y'all in right here. You typically just see the ESEE logo, Randall's Adventures, right there. You typically just see that on the blade where the skull is. Now you see and used to have the skull on the main of the blade, on the beginning part. Now a lot of people, they call these ESEE-5s the Skullys. So, kind of found that out a while back, a few years back, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'll just, I would store it on my wall. I loved it as a wall hanger, just because it's a big knife and I like to have it out to be showed, And the sheath, too, is just a gorgeous piece. It is just gorgeous. See, made in America there. It's got a belt clip. Many different ways you can wear this, or strap it, it is a beautiful knife. It is the ultimate bushcraft survival knife. Could be I'm a normal person, so it could be a combat knife, I guess, if you're a soldier or whatever, it is like when we get into the specs, but, it is a big, full, stout, just sturdy blade, well built. Roan, it says right there. I'm trying to keep it all in frame. It's a bit hard to do with a knife of this size. And this is the ESEE-5. They have a ESEE-6, which puts on another inch or so to the blade. Man, I'm kind of glad I don't have the ESEE-6, because that would just be a little too much. They got a hungless or a jungless. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or wrong. The jungless, that's like a little machete. Not little, kind of fine, but I think that one's about an 11-inch blade. And they're just all some mean blades. They got lifetime warranties when you buy an ESEE product. They're just well built. ESEE, the company, covers a wide range of knives from little to Gibson pinch. I would like to get me one of them one day. Check it out for the channel. Tell you all how it is, especially because it's a neck knife. Excuse me, and I really, you can't see, you ain't gonna find me without this on me, or some type of neck knife on me. And I only got two, so that's either one or the other. But man, I love it. It's an American-made blade. They stand behind their products. They have great customer service. I've not contacted them yet, but that's everything I've heard about the customer service, and I've seen it in many different cases and videos of them standing behind their products. It's just a beauty. Powder coating on the blade. You can see a little bit of rust right there in the Randall spot. I've tried to keep it oiled and stuff. It's a little humid where I live, so it's whatever. And you can see a bit of wear here and there. It was used. Don't get me wrong, but I ain't going batoning with it, or, I'll grab my axe or my hatchet to do that. This is too pretty right here. And it, like I said, it was a gift to me, so I ain't gonna go and muck it up too much or whatnot. Love the way the Micarta just wears in and gets that roughness to it. You can always wash it, kind of clean it up, but I ain't really worried about that at all. Yeah, we'll get to the stats real quick. We got an overall length on this here piece from the tip to the very end of the pommel where the serial code is. I'll show you, 43503. Don't know if that means anything to anyone, but if it does, there you go. Yeah, we'll go right here. Gotta get the ruler in order. Make sure we on the camera. Yeah, so we got about 11 inch from the tip of the blade right there. Make sure we're there. All the way, man. I can't even fit it on the camera. Make sure. Trying my darndest here for y'all. But yeah, an 11 inch overall length. With a blade length, we're going to be looking at about right here. I'm going to call that about 5 1/4. And then you got a thickness on here. And this is what this model knife is known for. Just being a stout, thick, full tang, full fixed blade. Just, you know, you ain't gonna... If you break this, you're doing something real wrong. And it comes in at 1/4 inch. Whew. Whew. That's just... You know, like you heard me say, people do baton with these blades. I'm not doing it with this one in particular because of what it is a little Skully. I might be picking up another ESEE-5 in the future, gifting that to my pops or whatever, and having him put it through the ringer, you know, showing you all that. That would be, I think that'd be some fun. But yeah, black Kydex sheath. I've had that since I got it. You know, it's never ever gotten loose. I've heard that from a couple folks. I did want to address this in the video before we get going too long. Beautiful click. Great retention. I mean, you know, you got to, you know, distinctively pull on with thought. And it's not too hard. It's nothing that fights or nothing. It's a clean break. Just clean feeling. Just well done. Just well done, you know. Make sure I ain't missing anything. We went over the lengths and the sizes. You got the jimping on the spine. Deep jimping. You know, you can really get up in there. Well spaced. Nothing too sharp or over perforated, overdone. You know, some of the jimpings be like a real shallow. And a lot of lines, I like this. This is nice. You got the saber grind. It's just, you know, I can't stop saying it. It's well done. I think these knives run you about $180 nowadays, give or take. You can always get them on sale. But if you pay that retail price, I wouldn't feel bad. You're getting something that you're going to have, and the reason I don't feel bad on a lot of the more expensive knives, especially fixed blades, when you do spend the money, is that you do have something that you're going to be able to pass down, you know. Whatever happens to you, these are still going to be around. And that's something that does, you know, it sticks with me to think about that, you know. So, before we forget, we'll do a little rope cutting. Everyone loves the rope cutting. I know I do. Make sure I'm keeping my blades at least a working edge, right? You know. So, I'm going to pull away from the rope, just as you would normally. I'm going to pull the rope kind of away from the knife, but not too much. Just I'm going to keep tension on it. And we'll see how she does. Whoops. So, as you can see, my fist kind of came down. Tapped on the desk and y'all rotated, but it was a clean cut. And if you look at that, it's not much frayed. We got a couple lines that, you know, might have frayed, snapped, but for the most part, pretty clean. 1095, you can work it and get a good edge. ESEE really does a great job with their hardening on their steels. They're not too brittle. You're able to work with them, baton with them. They will hold a great edge, a great sharpness for a good time. And they're nothing too difficult to put an edge back on them. So, with that in mind, you know, it's something to keep in mind, you know. 420, that, you know. And on that note, I appreciate everyone tuning in, checking out this longer video. This video, a little bit of story about one of my favorite knives. A knife that actually hangs on my wall quite often, you know. And I appreciate that. I'll catch y'all next time.